changed. I think your program, the other journalists that already mentioned this. There will be a few more days than the usual time. There will be all kinds of precautionary measures intended to prevent, this virus. I think so far Beijing has been doing very well lately. It has been almost a month. I think it's more than a month now that hasn't been reporting even one case of coronavirus. So this is a very safe city now, and I think with this gathering here of the most important lawmakers here in China, it sends out a very strong signal that China is back to normal again.
So then, what's your take on the issues that are likely to top the agenda this year?
I think there are three things probably going to be discussed. First of all, we're going to discuss to the fullest extent the handling of this pandemic. What have we been doing? What haven't we done? What areas can be improved upon in terms of the government governance system? This is a very important topic. Second, of course, is the economy. We have a saying here. It's the economy is stupid, right? So we're going to be discussing fiscal policies, how to stimulate the economy, the budget issue, all these things pertaining to the economic side. And lastly, I think there will be plenty of discussion about China's foreign policy and foreign relationships, because we're having a very difficult time right now. There's already a anti-China, xenophobic sentiment sweeping across the globe in many countries. So that certainly has implications for China's foreign policy. I think the lawmakers are also going to discuss that as well.
And we have seen that the pandemic has highlighted the correlation between public health and economic development and progress. How do you think China's health system is likely to change or improve after the pandemic?
Well, I think definitely we're going to make a lot of improvement on the CDC side, the public health alarm system. How do we prevent such an event from happening again? These are all very important issues. For some time, I think the public health system has been sort of complacent for a while. Now it's a wake-up call. We learned the lesson the hard way, I think, and there will be a lot of reform in that area.
And how might reforms of other industries be affected by the pandemic, especially as we see manufacturing ramping back up?
Yeah, well, I think China's continued open-door policy and also reform are not going to be sidetracked by this. Just a few days ago, there's a government document coming out talking about further improving upon China's market economic system. So I think these discussions are still ongoing. We are still on track to keep opening up, keep improving the business environment in China, keep the environment better for foreign direct investment. All these things that were previously discussed, previously planned to be implemented, will continue. So these are the things that will be dealt with at this session, I think.
And it's also a crucial year for poverty alleviation in China, as the government aims to erase poverty by the end of the year. Do you think the pandemic is going to be one of the major hindrances for that goal?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's inevitable that it will be somehow affected, because many local governments, budget situation, fiscal situation has been severely impacted by this pandemic. I mean, you're talking about a month and a half economic lockdown, basically, and nothing happening. So certainly there will be implications for the tax revenues, for the local budgets. So I think, it adds another layer of difficulty to achieve that goal. But I think the government is still, various levels of government are still very much committed to do their best they can to try to alleviate poverty, if not totally eradicating poverty.
And just quickly, we have about 30 seconds. We know that 2020 also marks the final year of the 13th five-year development plan. What role do you think the pandemic and the current trade issues with the U.S. might play in the next development plan?
Yeah, I think the next development plan is certainly going to take into consideration of these issues, particularly, as you mentioned, the relationships with the United States and the prospect of some of the manufacturing activities by foreign companies, multinational companies in China, are going to be inevitably moved to some extent out of China. So these are the challenges that we have to deal with. There's also a large amount of, I would say, technology decoupling between China and the United States. So these are the challenges, and I think the next 5-year plan certainly is going to consider that.
All right, thank you so much.